You are now listening to Ride With Me, the Flat Tire Podcast.
Welcome to Ride With Me. Today is July 26, 2020, 10 a.m. Today on the podcast, I have my two lovely cousins that live out here in La Puente.
Hey, it's Celina.
Hi, it's Katrina. Thank you for having us.
No problem. So today I have them here because we're going to talk about how they feel about going back to school. I want my kids to go back to school, but not going to happen.
Yeah.
But first, I only knew of you guys because of my grandfather. When we used to live with him back in like 91, 92, he would bring us over to visit. And I just knew that that was his daughter. Your mom was his daughter. And because my mom never took us around family, she just kept us to herself. She always felt that we were the only family she had. She said she would always say that we were her only family. We would bump into people and they would say hi to her and who's that? Oh, that's so and so, or that's your tío, or that's your cousin. I remember this little old lady for a long time, and she would always tell me a story about her grandson who looked just like me. She would give me like a family history, but till this day I don't know who she is, and I don't know who my lookalike is. I haven't seen her since we moved out here, but I was tripped out on that. Never really asked my mom why. Again, never went around family. Last time I saw you, I think you were like 1 or 2.
Yeah, because I want to say, like, I don't even remember, like, you, like, being younger, like, coming around the house. I just remember you, like, the way you, as you are now. Like, that's how I feel like I've met you.
I remember having Easter at your house back in the days. I don't remember, again, what year, but I think we moved with my grandmother in 91, 92, or 90 and 91. But I do remember that really big wall that your mom used to have of the VHS tapes.
Yeah. I'm telling you, we still have them there.
You still have that wall?
Yeah. I got to take a picture and send it to you. It's just all the Disney movies. Like, just a big whole collection of VHS. And we don't even have a VCR anymore, so it's like we can't even watch any of the videos.
They're just there.
They're just there. They're there for looks.
And I honestly don't think they're going to go anywhere anytime soon.
Yeah.
So.
I remember coming down once and hanging out with your family, with your parents, and watching Beetlejuice. But I didn't know what they were doing.
Yeah.
So as we're watching Beetlejuice, they're making a duplicate copy so that we can take a copy of Beetlejuice home. So that I guess we can have it at home as well. Back to like family, never brought us around family. I think after, I'm going to say 16 years old, a van pulled up to where we lived at, and there pops up this really old lady with these 2 kids, and it's my grandmother. And she's like, where the heck have you guys been? I've been looking for you guys for 8 years. I think that's the day I lost all respect for my mom, because she would always tell us that my grandmother didn't want anything to do with us, and she just wanted they moved to El Paso to kind of keep their distance from us. And when you're a kid, you believe everything your parents tell you,
Right.
until you're old enough to realize that they're not always correct. So I'm not trying to bash on my mom, but that's just what happened.
Yeah.
Grandmother shows up with my brother Danny, who is like 7 foot tall, and Junior being a full-grown adult now, worried and asking us, your tia saw you and she said that you guys ran away from them. Because we would bump into family and we would run away from them. We didn't really
Like interact or anything.
No, we knew of them, but we would run. So she kind of brought that to our attention. It's like, you guys bump into family and they try to get your guys' attention, try to get your guys' number. I'm trying to call you guys, and you guys run away. So the biggest question of her was, where have you guys been? I've been looking for you guys for 8 years. So again, I believe that was the day I lost all respect for my mom. I looked at her with this evil eye that if looks could kill, she wouldn't be standing right now. Because I love my grandma like there's no tomorrow. She did take care of us for a few years while my mom was trying to get full custody of us again. I don't know if you guys know, we were in foster home for a little bit because my mom left us home alone, and I guess the neighbors called the cops.
Well, there was a lot of you guys, right? How many total?
My mom had a total of 12 of us.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
And Albert, since he was born, he went straight to live with my grandmother because my mom was too young when she had Albert. And then I'm lucky number 2, which ended up being the oldest in reality because I had to do it. She never really claimed Albert as a son. Actually, I'm the one that broke the news to Albert and told him, hey, dude, we're brothers. And he was like, what? He didn't believe me. So he asked my grandmother, and my grandmother was like, chismoso. I would die for my grandmother. She's a very good lady, and she did a good job. And I just really trip out on the fact that some of them are knuckleheads, but I told Danny one day, we should be the fuck up ones.
Do you still have contact with?
My grandmother?
Yeah.
Yeah. I call her too. She got mad at me because I didn't check up on her after the surgery. But Albert sent me, he posted on Facebook.
Like updates.
And again, yeah, back to family. I would bump into, like, after I moved out as an adult, obviously I'm gone. I would bump into people and, hey, we're related. And that's when I started kind of like talking to them and getting to know them. Like my cousin Diana, I was working at Walmart and she popped in and she came straight to me and she goes, hey, you're so-and-so's son. Do you know who we are? And I said, not you, but she looks familiar. This is one of my cousins, Margie. Margie looks familiar. And she said, we are, your mom's cousins, and this is your mom's aunt, and her brother is, Theo so-and-so, and blah, blah, blah. So I started connecting the dots. I'm okay, cool. Now, my cousin Diana loves my kids to death. Like, they're her own. We haven't seen her in a while, but stupid COVID. We'll get past that, and we'll obviously go see her again. She loves my kids. I think she even not baptized. She was the godmother or the sponsor for Nicholas's first Holy Communion. That's how, again, back and forth, I bump into family or on Facebook, or I'll see names that look familiar, or I'll see our family last name is not very common, but you see a lot of it. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, okay, well, this looks familiar, and this looks familiar, and this. I like I said, after as an adult, and that's when I started bumping into people, even with you, Katrina.
Yeah.
Sorry, Celina, I didn't know you. I didn't meet you until like 3 years ago. But you were having a conversation with one of my brothers on back in MySpace days.
Yeah.
And I'm being all nosy and watching you guys' conversation, and then I noticed you said,
how's Grandpa doing,
how Grandpa's
or something
doing,
like
or
that.
how Pops is doing, because we used to call him Pops.
Yeah.
And I comment, hey, that's my grandfather, like all protective and defensive. I'm like, hey, what? Back off, woman. And then it turns out, then we start talking, and I realized, oh, you're my tia's daughter. Okay, cool. And then I started remembering events we used to have and stuff like that. And again, the watermelon always came to mind.
Yeah.
Always watermelon. Well, what is it? Halloween of 18. The street name is Sandia. That's why watermelon always came to mind.
Watermelonville, Watermelon Street.
Why is it that watermelon always comes to mind when I think of my tia Maggie? I can say Maggie, right? She's not going to sue me, guys?
No.
No, okay. No. Tia Maggie, hi, shout out. Why do I always think of watermelons? And again, Halloween of 18, I asked Katrina, hey, where can we...
Trick-or-treating.
Well, yeah, we're not from around here. Where can we go trick-or-treating? What areas? Give us the 411, and then we'll come down our block. We go. Your mom had an amazing Halloween costume.
Every year she'll set it up.
I believe that year she was the Oogie Boogie for Halloween.
For the Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah. That was awesome. And my kids, I believe that's the first day that my kids meet, and my wife, that meet you guys, and meet your mom, and then your dad. Hey, you got your family. Come here, and he grabs my kids and he gives them a hug.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. You guys, your mom was still your parents were very well, welcoming.
Welcoming, yeah.
So I love that. And my wife's like, wow, you have normal family members. Yeah, I have some. And that's why, and again, based on how I grew up and how my mom kept us to herself, that's why I'm the way I am when it comes to when my wife has their family gatherings, and I'm like, again... No, and I just I get it. I like for us to be home. Yeah. But, I mean, family's not bad. Little by little, she's molding me into someone better.
You eventually get used to being around, like...
Example, we were invited, when we still lived in Oxnard, we were invited to come down, and we're going to go to so-and-so's house, and I'm like, I don't want to go. well, Uncle Roy's gonna be there. Okay, let's go. So
It depends. There has to be certain people there that you get along with. And
exactly. So I was like, oh, Uncle Roy's gonna be there. So my mother-in-law, you know, I can hear my wife, I can see my wife and my mother-in-law speaking in the corner, and then I get like that glared look from my mother-in-law. Like, what the hell were you guys talking about? Oh, I just told my mom that the only reason why you came was Uncle Roy was here. And she's like, really? Oh, sorry. Yeah, there's certain people who have to be there for me to.
I think that's who I am too, though. Like, I get like, I don't know if I'm just anxious or like little like social anxiety where like if I don't know people or like if
It's always that, well, who's going to be there?
yeah, it's always like,
oh,
I don't
okay.
want to be that person to ask like, well, who's gonna be there? Like, you know, like,
Yeah.
what, like, do I know anybody there? I mean, of course, when Celina goes, it's like me and her just sitting next to each other and talking, but I get like that anxiety
What?
too, where it's like I don't know anybody here. Like, I
Let
feel
me mentally
weird.
prepare
Yeah.
to go to this family event
Yeah.
just in case.
Yeah.
Like now, the last couple of times we went to Oxnard, obviously living out here for almost 3 years now, it's like, okay, I don't want to. Now I know what my wife felt like, because when we would come out here to visit, we would go out to the store or whatever. She was, I don't want to bump into certain people. Now I'm the same way. I go to Oxnard and I was like, we gotta go where? I don't want to go to Walmart right now. It's like I don't want to.
I want to know somebody there.
don't
Someone's
wanna-
gonna come up to me.
I don't want to bump into someone. I mean, and you know, especially like an ex. I don't want to bump into anybody. I know my baby's mom doesn't live in Oxnard, so I won't bump into her.
Yeah.
But like another ex, or like, there's certain people you don't want to bump into.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I get it. But anyways, back to Celina. We'll start with you. Again, the last time I saw you, you were like in diapers. How have you been since the last time I saw you?
And you know what? I feel like I haven't, the same thing kind of like Kat. It wasn't until I think I saw you on Facebook.
Yeah.
And then I think I brought it because I think you requested me and I had showed my mom and I was like,
Who's this
it?
creepo?
I was like, who's this like white guy that's trying to add me on Facebook? I was like, I don't know, it's an older guy. And my mom right away was like, oh, that's my nephew. Oh, that's my godson. I was just like, oh, okay. Nephew then probably.
Probably nephew, because I don't know. I mean, I think I know who my Nina is.
Okay, then
no,
it's
I
probably
know
just
who my
nephew.
godparents are, so yeah. But no, that's cool that she said that.
Yeah, and I was just like, oh, okay, yeah, I didn't know who this was, and I was gonna deny them, but
All right, I'll add.
yeah.
All right, your family.
Yeah.
And I mean, since then, I've just heard you mostly like through Kat talking to you,
Yeah.
and little things here and there, like from my mom and my dad. So.
I think the day that the day that your mom invited us to go over to the house because they were gonna throw a bunch of stuff away, or before they sold it.
Oh,
or
all the camping
The camping,
stuff.
yeah, the camping stuff.
I remember I believe it was you who asked, and who's out there? And then Celina, you're the one that said, "Oh, it's Andy. Andy's out there."
Yeah.
So I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." And I even told my wife actually last night. I'm like, I'm tripping out because I heard that Celina's the one listening to my podcast. Mm-hmm. But and no offense, but we got the standoffish from you when we first met you. Like first, like, who's this person? And like kind of like that's how my wife is. She's like she's like kind of dissecting you with her eyes and like, who are you? What do you want? Like territorial, like you're protective of your environment.
Yeah.
So I was like, I didn't feel so very welcoming at first, and yeah, but I was like, I was like, it feels cool that she, you know, that Katrina told me that she's the one listening to my podcast, and I was like, oh, that's cool. But anyways, how was growing up in La Puente? I mean, I'm okay with La Puente, but how was it for you growing up here?
I mean, I feel like I had a pretty normal, I don't know, upbringing in this neighborhood. I didn't feel like it was. I feel like it's gotten a lot worse. Maybe it's just because now that we're older, we kind of see a lot more of the negative aspects of
and
it.
I believe I said that on my last episode about Oxnard. Now that we have social media, we see everything. A little kid's not going to go pick up a paper. A 17-year-old kid's not going to go pick up a paper to go read the paper.
Yeah.
You see that a lot now because of social media. And it's
Yeah.
true. What about school? Any sports? My daughter was in cross country for a little bit. I believe Katrina did cross country.
I did track and cross country.
What about you?
Yeah, I was not the runner. I was
Selena was
told
the complete opposite.
I was
Wait.
told I ran like a duck, so I never did running. All throughout actually starting in middle school, I got into band.
Okay.
I did that from 5th grade all the way to 8th grade, and then did marching band in high school.
My wife did. She did do cross country, and she also played in a band. She was also in band, and I believe she did the LA Marathon
Oh wow.
back in the days.
I've always wanted to do the LA Marathon, but I'm not a strong runner, so
Be a strong walker.
I'm just like, yeah.
I mean, who runs for fun? Nah, I started running for a while. So you guys went to, was it Bassett or La Puente?
No, La Puente.
La Puente? Bassett's ghetto, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I heard now it's a lot
It looks
better
like
than
a
I think what it was
prison.
before.
It looks like
Well,
a
you know
prison.
what? La Puente has changed a lot since I've been there. Like before, when I was there, like the classrooms in the front were still all like in the open.
Oh,
Right.
yeah,
So
and now
when
there's
people,
a fence.
yeah, when people had class there, security would just be out front.
Yeah.
Everyone was like cool with security. Oh, Eddie, like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go down to the 7-Eleven. Like, I'll be right back. But now, yeah, they gated it all off. So I was just like, I wonder if too many kids like ditching.
The
It's just
7-Eleven.
everything that's going on.
I serviced at 7-Eleven. I sent them their
The one
beer.
up on Main
Yeah,
Street, right?
I sent them their
yeah.
beer.
Yeah.
No, and then the little liquor store next door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think now it's just because everything that's going on, like with safety and stuff like that, like that's a big
probably.
factor to it. I don't think it's kids ditching. It's more of just,
Well, I guess,
being
yeah,
aware of
with
like
all the
shootings
school
going on
shootings
and all that.
And a couple of times when I was there, like we were on lockdowns because there was like suspicious people getting onto campus.
Yeah.
Well, when I came to enroll my daughter to Bassett, it's like, this is a school. I'm looking at the address. I'm like, I'm at the right place. It looks like a prison from the
Yeah.
outside. So, and then I hear from my uncle that lives on the street here that it used to be bad. And back in the days, it was horrible. So that's the reason why it looks like a prison.
Did you ever consider like Bishop?
At one point, I had my daughter at the Sierra Vista, because the boys don't go to any schools nearby. They go to the schools in Baldwin Park because the wife dictated that part. No, she's from out here. I'm like, whatever she says, if she feels that a certain elementary or a certain junior high is better for the boys, so be it. My daughter had that same opportunity, but within a week or two, she screwed up. She hung out with the wrong kid, and I think they caught her taking a Xanax or something like that. And I'm like, oh, come on, really? Your life's not that bad, kid. Are you serious?
Yeah.
I never even took pills.
Yeah.
So they're like, sorry, she broke policy, so she has to go
Out of the district, huh?
Yeah, so no other school wanted to take her, so she had to go to Bassett. But she did cross country before the year was over. She loved it at first, and then I think just bad apples here and there. Didn't want to do it anymore.
I think I would remember sometimes seeing her running like here on
Yeah.
Workman. So like, cause I'd be coming home from work and then I'd see like the Bassett kids coming down and like running, and I would see her every once in a while there. I'm like, hey, there's Layla. Like she's running.
She was doing good. I think there was at one time, I don't know if you guys saw the photo I posted of her with the teachers in the medal. She's the only one that got a medal.
I think I remember I heard
Yeah.
that one particular episode and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
she's the only one that got a medal. So
Yeah.
that was pretty cool for her. I mean, she started off slow and got better and better, but anyways, enough about her.
Back to you, Celina.
I love my daughter. I love my daughter, but she should have been here this weekend. She chose not to. Anyways, so what do you do for a living now?
I work for the air quality. So the South Coast Air Quality Management District.
So when we get those notifications on the apps that the air quality is horrible or it's great,
That's from
is
us.
that you?
Yeah.
Nice. The one from mine says from Monte. Is that where you're at?
No, we're in Diamond Bar.
Diamond Bar?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll change my settings to Diamond Bar. So that that's Celina telling me that the weather's bad or the area is bad or good. It actually got really good when everybody stopped driving.
Yeah.
And it's just...
We're hoping, obviously, that stuff like that would continue. Well, it kind of is, but, I mean, it's kind of getting bad again. But they did, like, kind of state, like, even though so many people aren't driving, we still need that for, like, a couple years of people just not driving for it to actually make a big enough impact.
A few weeks is not enough.
Yeah,
or
it's
a
not
month
really
or two
going to
is
do
not
much.
enough.
Yeah.
I mean, you go back to Facebook and you start seeing all these pictures and like, oh, we can see the Mount Everest from Hawaii now or whatever. I'm like, damn, that's pretty cool. Where I can't see it, but that's cool. I mean, we need clean air. So what is it exactly that you do?
In the department that I'm in, we kind of do a lot of... So one of the main programs actually that I work with, it's being able to replace your old car with a better like fuel efficient car. So it's getting rid of any car like 2011 and older. That's kind of those like higher emitting vehicles.
Okay.
And replacing it with like an electric vehicle or just something that's like better mileage for you.
Okay.
We do programs like that. We do
What
like...
about a program for family?
Well,
My car is 15 years old.
Mine's a 95.
Mine's a 99.
Okay,
we're the 90s gang.
I did have a 95 Honda Civic for a while.
I'll say my car is almost as old as I am.
Yeah.
I'm still driving it.
Yeah.
No AC. Still gets me from point A to point B though, so I'm not complaining.
Okay.
Yeah, and we don't have no payments, so
I
we're
take
good.
it. Okay, ladies, I take it back. Forget that last comment. I'll delete that part. No, I'm playing. So so you do. I mean, do people sign up on a website or they come
Yeah,
to
they
you,
go to our
or?
website. It's like a replaceyourride.com website.
Okay.
You pretty much do your whole application through there. You get a case manager and they kind of help you along the way. And you go and purchase your new car from a dealership. And then we pretty much just send the funds because it's a government assistance program.
Okay.
So we pretty much just send the funds directly to the dealership. And you pretty much
okay.
have your new car that way.
That's cool.
Yeah.
All right, I'll think about going on that website. Now that my car's
Check it out.
Now that my car's not.
You might have
that
to
old.
do the call center,
Right.
and it'll be Celina answering the
Right?
phone.
Hey, we're cousins. What's going on?
Yeah.
But I'll wait now that my car's not that old.
Compared to I don't even think me or Celina would be able to qualify for the
your
program
family?
because it's like a low income.
Yeah, it's a low
Program.
income thing.
Oh,
so
never
it's
mind
like,
then.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a cutoff there.
So it's like I always hear her on the phone. Like a lot of people are calling and asking, and then they're like, "Well, can I get a Tesla?" I'm like, "Dude, if you're low income, I don't think you should be getting like a
Driving a-
Tesla." You know?
Yeah, we
It's
get
like-
those all the time. Oh, like, someone calling in, oh, well, I can get the Tesla delivered directly to my house. I'm like, and you're calling for government assistance to get something shipped directly to your house?
Yeah.
Going back to that, actually, that's a funny story because it's crazy who they help. My mother-in-law, 6 kids. She was working, I think, running the McDonald's. That's the one down the street here.
Yeah.
When
Valley?
when
Right
they
on
tore
Valley?
it down,
Yeah.
she was heartbroken because all the old stuff inside. She still has like
Yeah.
a neon or something in her garage, or like one of those lamps in her garage that we always tell her to throw away. And she says no. She tried to ask for help, and they told her no. They didn't know that she owned a house.
No, she doesn't qualify for it.
Yeah,
It's like-
because she owned a house, she didn't qualify for.
Yeah.
it. I'm like, oh, what the hell? Are you serious? So
Yeah.
no, I give her props. She was like, okay, I'll make sure my kids never ask for help.
Yeah.
And that's how I was when I was homeless and only collecting unemployment.
Mm-hmm.
They would tell me, you qualify for at least food stamps. Go get food stamps. I'm like, no. And me being a
like stubborn.
stubborn dude, no. Other people need it more than I do. I was still collecting unemployment.
Mm-hmm.
The last check that I got from unemployment, then I did go and receive some food stamps. But the day that they told me at work, okay, your first day is going to be this day, that day I called welfare and I said, hey, I don't need the food stamps. Well, you still have, we got to go based on your paychecks. I don't want it.
Yeah.
I'm not coming in the office. I'm not signing any papers. I don't want your assistant anymore. I have there's other people that need it better than I do. I start work on Monday. I don't need your food stamps. 4 years later, hey, did you know you still have 4 cents? Oh, are you serious?
I don't need
Don't
it anymore.
give it to someone that needs it more than I do.
4 years later, do you know you have 4 cents in your? I'm like, wow. Okay, cool, whatever. But let's get on to the topic of why we are here. This whole schooling situation.
Right.
The way I grew up, not going to school, only going 50% of the time. Like even 8th grade, I felt like I passed 8th grade because of a state capital test. I took a test and I got a D. But that D made my GPA 2.0.
Go up.
That helped me graduate through the line with my friends. So that was a big step. But obviously, the older you get, the older you get and you're used to not going to school, then you start feeling that way. You don't want to go to school. And my mom never really encouraged me to go to school. I think I said one day I had to kick down the door to grab my backpack that she herself didn't give me. So I am very against them not going to school. I really want them to go to school.
Right.
Because I'm based on history. But now that I know for a fact that I have family that are teachers, and then my brother-in-law is also a PE. It's funny
teacher.
coincidence. He's also a PE teacher. He actually coached the soccer team that just recently last year won the state championship twice or 2 years in a row from I think Sierra Vista.
Oh, nice.
That was him. He's the coach and nobody likes him. They don't like him. He's very aggressive. But no, he does his job and the kids love him. It's 2 championships, I would too.
Yeah.
But now I'm 50-50. Now I'm at like, okay, maybe you can come in and shed some light and explain to me, the normal people, what it is how you feel about the government shutting down the schools or
Just distance learning, 100%.
just distance learning. And obviously, I know it's a lot of safety concerns. And again, with me, send them to school. They need their education. I don't think they're learning. Nick is a straight A student. His PE was a C when they sent him home. So he emails his teacher, what can I do to make my C and A? Well, prove to me that you're going for walks. Dude, here you go. Screenshot. We're going on walks.
Yeah.
He raised that to an A. Julian, I noticed that he was a little more lazier and wouldn't want to do his homework. He would say, I have this done, I have that done. But then we would get emails at the end of the week. He didn't finish his math homework. He didn't do this. He didn't do that. So I'm like, again, 50-50. One kid's lazy. The other one wants to make sure he has straight A's. You being a teacher, do you want the kids to go back to school, or are you concerned for your safety? Give us give us how you feel.
The whole spill.
Yeah.
Like I want to be back at school. Like I miss my students. I have over 420 students. Like those are all my kids.
What school is this at?
In Huntington Park. I work for Aspire Public Schools.
That way.
Yeah.
I every time somebody mentions a street or a city, since I'm not from around here, I'm like, last week the guy said Ontario. I'm like, okay, it's that way.
Yeah.
Okay, I know where Ontario. I know where Oxnard's at. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've been with the school for like 4 years, going into 5 years, since I think 2016 was when I started teaching. I started off as like a PE instructional assistant. So I wasn't even a PE teacher yet. I was helping out the PE teacher because he had double classes at one time.
Weren't you a male person?
Yeah, I used to work for the post office.
Yeah,
and
I remember
that could be another whole story of how it is.
Hey, you know where I live. You know where my podcast equipment's at. We can have a story about
I can even bring my best friends. They're both posts. They work in the post office as well.
It's funny because the mailman here, since I live here, and my territory where I sell beer is also here.
Here around.
I'll bump into him into random streets or at businesses or whatever, and he looks at me like, "What's up, mailman?"
Yeah.
Like, "What's up, bud?" He's like, yeah, the look on his face is funny. It's funny, but he knows that obviously I'm selling. I'm a vendor.
Yeah.
It's just funny to him that we bump into each other.
Again, on each other's routes, huh?
Yeah,
just
right.
like, hey,
what's going on?
Yeah.
So, again, back to you.
So from post office, then I went over to the school, and I still worked within Aspire Public Schools. It's like, it has a bunch of sister schools within it. So I started at one, and then from there, I ended up going to a different school because they needed a substitute. So I ended up going over. The PE teacher there he was going on maternity leave, so I took over his spot, and then I ended up teaching. And then I remember I had went part-time at the other school I was at. So I had just talked to the principal and just said, hey, do you have any other positions open for me? So I ended up just staying at that one school, and I'm still there today. But again, I want to be back at school, but I think just all the restrictions they have now, they told me in the beginning of 2 weeks ago, was it? I don't know. But we had a meeting, and they pretty much told me hey, Kat, unfortunately, you're going to be 100% distance learning because we can't have the kids moving from one teacher to another teacher, because we're like, what happens if a student catches COVID or a teacher gets COVID? They're going to have to quarantine that whole class, and the kids aren't going to be able to go back to school.
So maybe you have a little bit more information than I do. My understanding it's very hard for kids to get COVID, but yet now I'm reading all these posts and messages from the news channels and stuff that, oh, this 14-year-old kid died, or this kid died.
Yeah, I just started seeing that as well. I'm just first they were saying,
kids can't get it.
Yeah, kids can't get it, or they're not susceptible to getting it somehow. And then now all of a sudden all these, articles are coming up and oh, so-and-so, this child got COVID. And I'm like, okay, well, so now you guys really want to send the kids to school, and now all this stuff is coming up, rising.
In the beginning, it should have just been treated as anyone can get it.
Yeah.
Anyone and everyone has the potential of getting it. And not just nitpicking, oh, this group of people can get it, this group of people can't.
And that's why I feel that this virus, in the beginning, it's a man-made virus and blah, 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 and bats and all this good stuff. So now that I'm hearing, when I heard that at first, it's okay, maybe they are targeting certain people. Is it truly man-made, or what the hell? Now all of a sudden kids can get it?
Right.
My boys are very well trained like little doggies. No, they're real well. Like today we went to the donuts before we started recording, and boom, they'll remind me, Dad, your mask.
Yeah.
Yesterday we were fishing, and I'm not wearing my mask. They're 90% of the time they're wearing their mask.
Yeah.
And then my sister-in-law's, I'm gonna say fiance, came over with the kids, and Elena, she's I think 4 or 5. And I can hear her whispering into her dad's ear, "How come Theo Andy's not wearing his mask?" Okay, so I put it on, and I was teaching her how to fish. It was the first time fishing, so it's a trip. I want them to go to school, but now if my boys are the only ones being responsible wearing the mask, can a teacher truly keep all kids in line keeping their masks on?
Yeah, and I teach elementary, so I have TK through 5th grade. So I have 4-year-olds all the way to 10-year-olds. You know how hard it is to keep a 4-year-old off of like another kid? Like they'd be touching each other's butts, like holding hands, like picking their noses, and I'm just like, and I was telling my boyfriend Eddie, I was like, you know how many hugs I would get in the morning? Like when I would show up, like, "Oh, coach is here." I would probably get like over 50 hugs in the morning. Can you imagine, like, the kids trying to come up to me? I'm like, no.
Boom.
Yeah.
What do you call that? Like wrestling move?
You know what?
Hand to the face.
Why doesn't the school do those like those pool noodle hats for the kids where
To
like
wear?
you can't get close and you can't get, it's like the 6 feet.
Well, that's what we have to
holes or
teach them. It's
whatever,
like
and
personal
just,
bubble. Personal bubble.
Every human being can wear one of those like
Inflatable.
A hula
inflatable
hoop.
balloons.
Yeah, we're like a hula
like
hoop.
a bumper car type thing.
Yeah, because these kids are just, they don't know boundaries. Like, I remember, I always talk to like my coworkers. I'm like, do you ever remember coming up and like hugging your teacher?
No.
No. I'm like, these kids will like come up, they'll sit at my desk, they'll like hang out, want to like hold on to me, they want to ask for my phone. I'm like, excuse me, this is mine. Like, you need to, this is my personal space. Like, you need to step away.
Do you feel like the way school was like when we grew up is just like, where do you feel like it kind of like changed? Because I feel like growing up, it was more like, I feel like it was more like, you respect your teacher. This is like an adult, like, you keep your distance from them, like it's this like role model that you're there to learn.
Yeah.
But then I feel like now, like even the times I've been to like at your school, like the kids are just so comfortable, like of it just being like, even it being like a family member, like, oh, let me go up to you and let me hug you, like me too, like coming up to me and like hugging me. I'm like,
you don't know me.
I don't know you. Like
when we go in, so we weren't never huggers. We weren't huggers, and now I feel like obviously I didn't hug you guys when you guys got here. My kids did. I was like, I don't know how you guys feel about this,
right.
so I'm like, I'm not trying to be rude, ladies.
Yeah.
But we come into this environment over here, my wife's family, and they're all huggers. So the kids are huggers. We go and hang out with family or friends in Oxnard because they consider them family as well. And my buddy Chris, so the boys run up to Chris and they hug him, and he's like, with his arms up, like, oh, they're huggers.
all uncomfortable.
Yeah, oh, they're huggers. And I blame his wife because his wife, he doesn't have anything against kids. He just won't have his own. So his wife one day told him, go hug Uncle Chris. So all 3 kids are running towards him, Uncle Chris. And he's like,
What's going on?
Yeah, so he's like, oh, they're huggers. That's crazy. No, back in my day, I don't recall ever trying to hug a teacher.
Yeah, I think it was weird. Like,
I think in 8th grade, there was this one teacher, Mrs. Pine, that she would, one student go hug her. And I think I did it one time when to go hug her, but even I felt uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Or just like a side hug.
I don't need that straight A after all. I'm good. I'll pass it. I just, growing up and hugging teachers was just hugging anybody in general. I never grew up like that.
Yeah.
What's up with,
Well, they have like all these like new protocols. So I just got an email. It was like Friday at like 2 a.m. And it's our safe schools training. So we have to do trainings every like beginning of the year. So normally we have about, I don't know, like 14 to do. And it's like cyberbullying, like bullying, like sexual harassment in the workplace, like all that stuff just to go over. And now I have like over 20 that I need to do. And then there's like maybe about 5 or 6 of just COVID. Like just COVID testing.
So for all these other old ones, like
yeah,
sexual harassment.
It's like, okay, those are like the basic ones,
whatever.
that we always do. It's like, oh, I remember all these answers already.
Yeah.
I know what's up. But then now it's like, oh, here's 6 more new tests that you have to do, like new trainings you have to go over, and it's all about COVID. Like I watched one yesterday because I was like, okay, I want to sit down and like actually like watch them and listen. And one was like how to make your own mask. Yeah, I was like, what? And it's like how to make a no-sew mask and how to make a sewn mask. So I was like, oh, okay. Like I have to sit here and watch this
There's
training.
different masks.
Yeah, I
But it's
guess.
like,
I don't.
Are you gonna make masks for your kids? Or
I don't know.
Show them how to
That's
make
the
one
thing.
for themselves.
Hey, do you guys want to design on your mask? My wife has a cricket.
Oh, nice.
on
Cat
now.
has a cricket.
Yeah, I have a cricket too.
Never mind.
Yeah, but I was just like, I don't know. So, and then another one is like, oh, how to like clean your workspace properly, and then another one is like the mental health of like COVID and stuff like that. So I was like,
I mean, I guess it can be a little stressful.
Yeah.
I mean, this COVID I mean, we didn't live through the old ones, but
Right.
even now we're living through it. It is kind of stressful.
yeah,
Coming home and like you can't go nowhere, you can't touch anything. I'm like, whatever.
yeah. But I don't know. I'm like trying to think of like how like because I think a lot of people think when they go back to school, it's not going to be that different. But the protocols that they already have set up, I'm just like, what? Like what?
Because I was thinking about it too. When they want to keep the distance, the 6. If they go back to school,
Right.
they want to keep the 6 feet. What are they going to do instead of a 20 class? Just 15
Mm-hmm.
or 10, just to make sure that every desk is 6 feet apart.
Yeah, I think ours was about. I showed Celina a video of one of my coworkers. She said, put a video on her Instagram of like her classroom, like it's empty. Classroom is completely empty, lines on the floor, and like desks separated 6 feet apart. There's maybe like I don't know, 10, 11, maybe like 12 desks max in there. There's no books, nothing. Like everything
As
is
I told
empty.
her, I was like, it looks so like
You said it looked like
uninspiring, like for the kids, like to
Yeah.
not see bookshelves with like books, to not be able to like the colorful bins and like stuff like
Yeah.
that.
the
especially in,
colorful
like,
carpet on the floor. Everything's gone. It's just
especially
like
for,
a
like,
white
ki-
room.
like a kindergarten class, like
Yeah.
for the kids that I don't know gets them a little more excited to be at school and stuff like that. It just looks like all of that was just like ripped away from them.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's different if it was like with older kids,
Right.
But since I'm in elementary, I feel like it's so much harder for them.
What gave me the idea to bring you on was I was speaking with the coworker a few weeks ago, and that's why I sent you the message on Instagram. Wait, you're a teacher?
Yeah,
Ding ding ding, light bulb. Because he was talking to me about, he asked me the same question that I asked you. How do you feel about the kids going to school? And I gave him, I want them 100% of the time in school and blah 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 blah. He gave me a scenario where his kid back in the day playing Fortnite, if his buddies ditched him or they ignored him or whatever, he'd be like, whatever, and he'd turn off his game. This last time, the kid actually got sentimental and started crying. Like, they don't want to play with me. So he feels that them not going to school is changing them. And I feel the same way with Julian, because he's been a little bit more and more disrespectful, like to my wife and myself. He thinks he's just joking around. Like to him, he thinks he's joking, but it's not. And then we have to kind of check him. He's like, dude, you're being disrespectful. And I've noticed that has gotten worse ever since they can't get
Not
their
being in school.
Yeah, they can't get their frustrations out in PE or during recess.
Yeah.
So they come home and they're holding it in, and like I said, he's being a little like he feels like he can talk to us like we're one of his friends.
Yeah.
And he's only 11. I'm like, cabrón, I'm gonna I
I guess
can't
it's
say
like
stuff
affecting a lot of the kids because they're not having that social interaction with their friends.
Exactly.
Especially, I guess, kids that are like, what is it? Like they don't have siblings; they're by themselves at
Yeah.
home.
yeah.
And it's kind of like parents going back to work too. Kind of like they don't have that social interaction with the other kids.
We would never allow them to play Fortnite from 10 in the morning till 7 in the afternoon. It was
Monday through
always-
Friday.
Monday through Friday. They only get that one hour.
Yeah.
I come home for lunch because I live here. I live on my route. I come home for lunch, and they're playing Fortnite. Or I'll get a notification, Dad, I got you to level 60. I'm like, they're texting me, Dad, I got you here.
It's like,
So
I
I'm
was
like,
just on level 10. What
Dude,
do you mean
yeah,
level
I
60?
know. They're playing already, and because my wife grew up anti-games. It's a waste of time. But then I showed her that either I turned to alcohol and drugs to get my before I used to go to the beach. I used to go to the pier and fish for hours. We don't have that nearby. I don't have that walking distance anymore. I'm like, babe, please, I just need to kill something on the game. Like I need to, hear a little 5-year-old on the other headset going, "Oh man, he killed me!" Something like that. I need that, please. And she saw that it was very relaxing for me. It relaxes me, like playing video games. And she sees now, I can play for 10 minutes and be bored, or I can play for an hour or two, and depends on who's online. She hated video games, and now, dude, the kids are already playing. I'm getting notifications and like so and so's inviting you to play. She's letting them play already. But if that's his frustration, if he could take out his frustration on the game, and where he's not so disrespectful, but obviously first they have to earn it.
Yeah.
Apparently last, like, I think like Thursday, I got home and the house smelled like bleach. Like, damn, babe, you're already on the bleach? And she goes, no. It was the boys. They got up early. They got
Cleaned
up
everything.
Yeah, they got up early. They got up at 6. They started cleaning. They washed some dishes. They even read their hour because we still make them read an hour.
That's good.
Yeah, that's good.
So and lately I've been making them read the Bible. No AR points, so I'll let them read the Bible. And they cleaned everything, and she's like, she has nothing on them. All right, cool. I don't know if you guys heard a couple episodes ago, they wanted to cut the grass. All right, cool, go cut the grass.
Yeah.
Go for it.
I'm not going to say no to that.
I'm not going to say no to that. If I can stay inside and I get to go play.
Yeah.
You know, yesterday, they're playing, and it was like 7 o'clock. And then, because the wife and I started watching The Professional. I've never watched that movie before. Really good movie. Natalie Portman's like 12 years old.
Oh, wow.
Very good movie. You know, I don't like the ending. But we're watching it, and like 20 minutes in, dinner time. Okay, pause the movie. The boys, instead of going back to the room, they're watching the movie with us. Once the movie was over, all right, guys, it's 7 o'clock. It's my turn to play. They didn't even argue. Okay, Dad, go for it. You play Fortnite? No, I'll play Call of Duty. Okay, go play Call of Duty.
Yeah.
They got stuck on the movie. It's a good movie. I don't like the ending, but it's a good movie. Again, they get distracted with stuff here, but I rather, if I had to choose between Fortnite or an hour of them at school, I'd pick that hour.
Going to the school.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that's the hard thing, is because like a lot of kids, like they don't have parents that are on them, and like we had so many kids that just didn't log on to their computer from the time we were out in March to like middle of June.
Yeah.
Like the kids just didn't log on, or they would log on for maybe an hour and then that was it. Like for like 2 or 3 weeks.
We did that. My wife emailed one of the teachers and said, hey, how come Nick's not getting any homework? Mm-hmm. And she's like, oh, Nicholas? We don't worry about him.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay. Why don't they worry about? Because he has straight A's.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, Julian, we get notifications every Friday or on Saturday morning.
Missing this.
Yeah, so we can be playing volleyball in the front yard, and then the phone rings and we look at the notification, and we went from having a good time to all eyes on Julian.
Like, you're missing this and this
Dude,
and this.
Go inside, log in, and we continue playing volleyball. But we had to kind of get on him. Like I said, he's a little more lazier, so we had to get on him.
Yeah.
Physically watch him doing it, because he would do the work, but there's a certain step he would miss, so that work wouldn't go through.
Like a submit. Sometimes it's
Yeah,
like the kids just
sometimes
don't hit
just
submit,
submit,
and then you're just
exactly.
like, well, I did it, but I just didn't hit submit. So that's the thing. We did have a lot of issues with that as well. But I mean, for us, like the teachers were just like, just try to do as much as you can. It's okay if you don't like complete it all. I just want to see that you're trying, and like, focus on doing your math, your reading, and like your writing, and like those just be like your core subjects to do.
The teachers wasn't concerned with Julian reading, because obviously the AR points, every book he finished, he did his AR test and he passed it. So she knew he'd be reading. One day he tried to help one of his little buddies at school cheat. Yeah, he got the AR points. So we got the call, hey, Julian was doing this. He's not in trouble, but he's trying to help his friend. So his friend can go out on recess, and he gave him the answers to the book they were reading. Julian, well, I wanted him to play. So again, teacher wasn't concerned about reading. She knew he read.
Yeah.
Again, Nicholas, no issues with Nicholas. They knew he had straight A's. I just feel again that they've been out of school for too long, and I mean, we'll see. I think classes start again mid-August.
Yeah, our students start August 17th. I pretty much go back August 3rd, and I'm pretty much gonna be at home in like Zoom meetings all day.
How's that going? You were talking a little earlier about your YouTube videos.
Oh yeah, I mean, that I'm gonna have to get back on it. Like, I've just been coming up with ideas on like what else I can do for the kids and like teach them, because I've been doing a lot of like workout videos for them, and then I did some like throwing and catching for the kids.
Is that you watching like them watching you do like Shanti, like Insanity?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I even had Celina do like 2 or 3 videos
That's
with me.
what the screen is for. The screen behind you guys, it was for Shanti Insanity.
Well, now you know you can put Kat's
Boom.
YouTube
Yeah,
videos
put all my workout videos in there.
Because those videos are like, what, three sets of, it's maybe like a 10-minute video. I was
Yeah.
like drenched.
That's it?
Yeah.
Shanti was 25. I'll do your videos.
I was like drenched within the 10 minutes. I was just like, oh my gosh, like
Yeah.
this actually gives you like a nice little workout.
Yeah, so I had to just come up with a bunch of ideas to like get the kids going. Like I was doing a lot of like health lessons, health focused lessons for the kids on like this program called Nearpod, which is really cool. It's like a interactive PowerPoint, so the kids can like do like little tests and quizzes on there, and then the PowerPoint, and then I'm like reading the slides to them because you know a kindergarten can't sit there and read my slides, so I just record my voice and then they just hit play and then it reads everything for them. But I mean, now I just have to get on the ball of, okay, what am I going to do like for each month? I'm going to have to come up with like different lessons, and I have to differentiate between the grades. Like I have TK and kindergarten with certain standard, or TK has their own set of standards, PE standards. Right. And then kindergarten through first grade has a set of standards. And then second through fourth grade or third grade or first, I don't know, something like that. And then third through fifth grade, that's another set of standards. So I have to have like 2 to 3 different like lessons for the kids because they each have to have like different manipulations and all this stuff. So
do you feel that distance learning made your job a little bit harder?
Oh, big time. I would prefer to be at the school, like teaching the kids hands-on. Like, I mean, kindergarten, I would teach them right away locomotor skills. As soon as we start school, let me see you skip, let me see you hop, let me see you, you know, leap. And some of the kids, they don't have these skills. So I'm like, I'm the one there to teach them. I'm like, how am I going to do that over a video? You know, I can't physically be there. I can try to do a live lesson. Yeah.
To like doing it.
I can try to do like a live lesson, but again, it's going to be kind of like optional. If you want to get online, I'll be here, but you don't have to get online. Right. So I don't know.
And did I ask you what got you into teaching earlier?
No, it kind of fell into my lap. Like, again, I was at the post office for like 2 years and I was sick and tired of it. Like, I hated going to work. And I just remember like looking online for jobs, and I found a PE instructional assistant. And since I studied kinesiology, I'm like, hey, this fits into it.
That's what my brother-in-law studied.
Yeah, kinesiology. So I was like, this fits into it perfectly. I studied more of like the health aspect of it. So I wanted to go into like physical therapy or chiropractor, but it was just, I felt like it was a lot of schooling. So yeah, this fell into my lap. And
well, again, that's why I say that it was a good move, us moving to La Puente, because I feel that there's a lot of good role models out here. Mm-hmm. And in this case, I have good role models for the children from both ends of the family. You're a teacher. I mean, my wife has teachers, doctors, police officers, everything in the family. Yeah. So, I mean, we went to Big Bear for the first time with them, and Layla clipped a tree. And, oh, hold on. So-and-so, he's an EMT. Damn. All right. Bring them. There's doctors, there's everything. I mean, when I met my wife working at Walmart, and I learned her, you know, backstories and who she used to work for, and I'm like, dude, leave Walmart for us knuckleheads. Like, let us do this. You have, and really, right before this COVID-19 happened, she was applying for jobs and resumes and all this good stuff, and they kept on telling her she's overqualified. Mm-hmm. That she hasn't been working 7 years. I mean, she's still overqualified. Because she has all her, you know, diplomas, and she went to work with kids, so she wants to do like a daycare, or I mean, her biggest dream was to own an orphanage. I'm like, babe, that's not gonna happen. But good for her to dream big. Yeah. And every daycare that she applies for is like she's overqualified, or like preschools.
It's like, how would you not want someone that's overqualified though to come in and like teach? Exactly. You know.
And like I told her, she was like, well, I'll just go work at this, you know, this receptionist. I'm like, no. So I'm kind of the one holding her back now. Yeah. No, that's not what you went to school for. Mm-hmm. No, because I know her mom wasn't very happy with her working at Walmart, especially because she met me. I love you, suegra. Anyways, yeah, stick to what you know. Good for you. You know, keep teaching, keep doing your videos. And speaking of videos, what's up with those chola videos you guys used to make as a kid? Oh no! Yes.
We have.
You know what?
You know what? That's
3?
It's funny that your friend, your coworker said I was hood.
You guys are making chola videos.
You guys are making chola videos. What made you guys do those? Those are funny.
That was boredom in the summer.
Yeah, it's just being bored. Like, I had nothing else to do. I was going to Cal Poly, and then I was just commuting back home because it was so close. And I was just like,
I feel like since we were little, though, we kind of always had fun just busting out the video camera.
Yeah.
Even like the one with like the VHS tapes. Yeah. Like we have a Star Wars video where I was maybe like 8, I think Kat was like 12 in the video.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like an old school
Star
VHS Star
Wars.
Wars video.
We did Power Rangers.
Yeah, Power Rangers video.
We would just make random videos. And then I started getting my own camera and stuff like that. And I'm just like, okay, we're going to make this video and we're going to do this. And like the cops just like, I don't even know how we came up with the cops.
That video was funny. The
And everything is just like we just wing it. Like there's
Yeah.
no script behind it.
Yeah,
We'll
we were
maybe
just-
talk about, okay, this is where we're gonna go with it, but just whatever happens, whatever
It's
whatever
funny.
happens.
Yeah.
Again, when I was a kid, I would always pull out the old VHS camera and record. And I think one day I got those. I don't know if you guys remember those cameras that would open. The screen would open to the side. It's like the first,
Yeah.
like with the little small tape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would strap that to the end of my bike, and I'd be chasing this guy. Like if I'm chasing, like I'm the cop, and he's being a good sport about it. Dude, just go, man. We're gonna run on our bikes for like an hour. Let's just do it. See where we get.
Yeah.
And now I'm doing this. You know, it's funny. It's a trip.
Imagine podcast with the Ina sisters.
That would be hard to keep like the Chola accent. Like I still can't even get it down.
I thought
That's
that
so
was funny.
hard.
I thought that funny. It's funny. The other day you shared your video again, which is recently.
I probably did. I don't know. I don't remember, but I probably did. But
Yeah.
I know that YouTube video has like over 70,000 views
It's funny.
on YouTube. I'm just like, and people
And I
sometimes will still comment on it, like,
Well,
"Oh,
and
this
I
was
don't
funny." I'm
know
like, what?
why?
I'm like, this was over like 10 years ago that we filmed this.
It was pretty funny. How old were you guys? Obviously teenagers.
I was already in college, so I was probably like, I don't know, 19, 20, somewhere around there.
I was
Yeah.
probably like
I was probably like 20 because it was
Yeah.
like 10 years
Yeah.
ago.
I was probably I was still in high school.
That's
Yeah.
funny. Yeah, that video was pretty funny.
We've talked about like doing an Ina sisters comeback,
Like a
but
revamp.
we
just-
Doing a tube.
Yeah.
The other day when she commented something about the fireworks, I literally saw that
Oh, yeah.
firework that you were talking about. I physically was driving out onto Valley. Firework went off,
Yeah.
and minutes later you're like, "Damn, firework!" Yeah, I physically saw
4:30 in the
Oh,
morning. I
yeah.
was like, "Are you serious?"
And
We
that's what I
both
told
woke
you.
up.
Yeah.
I told her, "Bring your sisters out again.
Yeah.
Go take them out."
Dude, I'm like, I'm about to get in the car and go drive around and see who's blowing up these fireworks because it's like it's 4:30 in the morning. Why are you lighting up fireworks?
We both heard it, and then Kat gets a text. I'm like, damn fireworks! Like woke me up.
Yeah, I was probably up till about like 6 when they stopped.
yeah, me
like
too.
finally stopped.
So back to you, Celina. I heard the air quality was bad, the worst it's ever been.
She was just talking about that, huh? Yesterday.
Yeah, it got so bad because we just went up to Mount Wilson too, me and my boyfriend,
Yeah.
to go up just for the scenery and stuff like that. It was horrible. Like the air is horrible up there, and usually when we go up there too, you can see like all of downtown LA super clear. You can see out
Yeah.
to the beach, like, and it was just like you couldn't see any. You couldn't even see the buildings in downtown LA.
Yeah, the radio show that I listen to, you guys look at the mug. See the mug?
Yeah.
I get my news from them, and they're the ones. They were saying that the air quality this 4th of July was the worst ever. It was bad.
People
Well-
were getting like buy one get like 50 free or something, like
fire-
buying fireworks.
Well,
'cause-
it was with the checks. I want to say
Oh,
it's with
yeah.
everybody's
The
like
stimulus
yeah,
checks?
stimulus checks. They're out there buying their
I just
fireworks.
bought an AC unit, and I have the rest in my.
Yeah, I'm
credit
just
cards.
like, man, like what are these people doing?
I made the mistake of volunteering to work that Saturday and Sunday, and we got home like at 10 o'clock. Fireworks were going off till like 1 in the morning.
Oh man,
Yeah.
yeah.
I woke up at 3 to go to work, get to the first account to help merchandisers because with COVID-19, a couple of the guys got COVID-19, so they were behind. They needed help. I'm out an extra $30 an hour. Let's go.
Yeah.
I get and I'm telling the guy, dude, I feel I'm bad. Dude, I don't want to do this. Let's just get it done. I get to my next account and it was so empty that the beer was all gone that I instantly woke up. All right, I'm good to go. I don't even need coffee. Let's go. Let's go. And I did like 4 hours every day. Nice little paycheck.
That's good.
Well, ladies, thank you for coming along to the podcast. Sorry that my wife did mop the floor for you guys. Thank you for being here. You guys are more than welcome to come back with your Ina stories or any other story.
Maybe some post office
Yeah.
stories.
literally
or
going
something.
postal.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you guys are welcome to come again. You guys live nearby. You guys are my closest guests. And like I ended every podcast, thank you for riding with me.
Thank you for having us.
Yep. Thanks, Andy.
No problem.
Thank you for listening to Ride With Me, the Flat Tire Indie Podcast. Thank you for listening to Ride With Me, the Flat Tire Indie Podcast. You can also listen to us on iTunes, Spotify, and Podbean.